Julie, he is a total babe. And he's a really nice guy, too.
A nice guy, huh?
Yeah. But cool at the same time.
Cool. Define cool.
Well, he's not a Gap guy. It's more like J. Crew and GQ, but in a casual way. But it's not like he spends a lot of time in front of the mirror. Not like he needs to. He's working on his master's or something in grad school.
Ah, an older man.
Slightly older.
How much older?
His mid-20s, 24, 25.
And you are...
Legal as of November 15th last year.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
And what would that be?
It sounds like you plan on having a real good time tonight.
I'm hoping on having a really good time.
Just be careful.
You don't know him that well yet.
We're getting acquainted just fine.
So how'd you meet him?
Well, that's really funny because a couple weeks ago, this girl, Susan, from my English class, she asked if I wanted to go with a couple of her friends to the Coffee Pod. That's this quaint little coffee house near campus. And so after my psych class, it was like 3:30, and I went and met her there, and we got a table, and then...
And there he is, at the next table reading Catcher in the Rye.
No. So we find a table and put our stuff there, and I go up to get our coffee.
Coffee, latte, or cappuccino?
What?
Coffee, latte, or cappuccino?
Decaf.
Decaf? Girlfriend, that is not even real coffee, much less espresso. So go on.
Whatever. So I go to the counter where they have all the condiments, like the sugar and stuff, and I feel this presence like right behind me, and I turn around and he's there.
Standing right behind you?
Well, he was waiting in line to use the sugar.
Hey, save some of that sugar for me.
So he takes the sugar and just dumps it into his coffee, and I've never seen anyone use up so much sugar, so I told him that.
Like a little coffee with your sugar?
Yeah.
And then what?
And then we just started chatting, and I decided to invite him over to our table, and then we just talked some more, and he asked me out for tonight.
Allison, you better hurry.
Coming! Look, Jill, I gotta run. I'll call you tomorrow, though, okay?
Okay.
Hi, you must be Eddie.
Yes,
Come on
hi,
in.
Mrs. Curtis. Good to
Allison
see
will
you.
be down in a few minutes,
Oh,
you know,
great.
girls.
Absolutely.
So how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Great. How's school?
It's going really well.
Yeah. That's you and Allison met at school, right?
We did, yeah. We met in the coffee shop. Yeah.
And what are you majoring in?
English. I'm pursuing my master's in English. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To
yeah.
teach? To write?
Maybe a little bit of both. I'll probably try and do some writing, but I want the teaching to have at least, to back things up.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me go see what's keeping Allison.
Great, thanks.
Hi.
Hi. You look fantastic.
Thanks. You look great yourself.
Oh, thanks.
So, what do you kids have planned?
Movie and dinner.
Sounds wonderful.
We'll have a wonderful time. Eddie, it was very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too, man.
Bye, Mom. Well, I don't know. I just didn't think the movie was that scary. It's actually kind of more funny than scary,
So you're up to tie nose?
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Can I get you anything else right now?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Sure.
And you knew that girl was going to be the killer. I mean, talk about obvious.
Yeah, I know. You think with all the hype it would have been all really good.
Yeah, but when you think about it, when's the last time you saw an actual scary movie? A believable one that you thought, wow, that could really happen.
Yeah, you don't get that from movies anymore. I mean, I remember growing up hearing stories about things that supposedly actually happened around here. I mean, that was a lot scarier than the movies we saw.
Wait, things that happen around here? Like what?
Yeah, like Highland Hotel is haunted. The Green Man, Myst Road. Just campfire stories.
Oh, that explains it. I never went to camp. But what are they, like urban legends?
I don't know if there's any truth to them. I mean, I kind of doubt it. But when I was growing up around here, like about a mile away, my neighbor that lived 3 doors down was a high school English teacher. In fact, he was my high school English teacher. I grew up with his kids. We hung out together. The man could tell a story. On summer nights, we were like 10 or 12. Mr. Becker, Mr. B we used to call him. He used to go out in his backyard, build a small bonfire, just before it got dark. And the kids would come over and roast marshmallows, hang out. We'd goof around for a while. And all of a sudden, he'd say, "Who wants to hear a true story?" And of course we all did. Then it would get really, really quiet. So quiet that you could just hear the crickets chirp, the fire crackle. And he'd start in with these scary stories. And of course, when he was done, we'd all have to go home and go to bed. And I'd be there wide awake. And I had this vivid imagination, which didn't help things much. To be honest, I think the reason I decided to pursue my master's in English had a lot to do with Mr. B.
So what kind of stories did he tell?
A lot of them. It seemed like the ones that were the scariest were the ones that he said actually took place near where we lived. Like Blue Myst Road.
Blue Myst Road?
Yeah, over North Park, like right across from the lake.
I have to be honest, I grew up in Hampton and I never heard of Blue Myst Road. What's the deal with that?
You've never heard of Blue Myst Road?
Uh-uh.
So, you've never seen the strange lights? Or the mist?
No.
Or heard people chanting?
No.
Okay, well, Blue Myst Road is this secluded road. You wouldn't even know it's there if you drove by. They don't even let people or cars down there. But you could get a car down there, to a point.
Well, what's down there?
Wait, you're really not familiar with it? And you grew up like 10 minutes away from it?
Well, yeah. No, I'm not familiar with it.
Well, there's a lot of strange stories about stuff that happened there. Strange stuff. Very strange stuff. I guess anything can happen.
Well, I'm intrigued. What kind of stuff?
Okay. At night, late at night, when the fog rolls in, it creates kind of a mist that covers the road sometimes. And it turns this eerie blue color when the moon's out.
Uh-huh.
So you're driving down this road. It's a dirt road. There's trees on both sides. And about 100 yards down, you hit this barricade. You can't go any farther. You wouldn't want to either. And so you get to the barricade, and you just have barely enough room to make a really tight 3-point turn and get out of there. But anyhow, off to your right there's this tree.
A tree?
Yeah, it's not like any tree you'd see in the park. I mean, it's all twisted and ominous looking, kind of like it's in pain. Almost like it's crying out for help.
A sad tree.
Yeah, well, they say when you get to this tree and you shut off your engine, you can't start it up, no matter what you do.
Really?
That's what they say. I actually went down there once when I was like 17 with a bunch of buddies on Halloween night, just to see if anything would happen.
Well, did anything happen?
Not really. We didn't have the nerve to shut the engine off. But there is that other thing.
Mm-hmm.
People say that sometimes there's rituals down there. People in robes, chanting, late at night. And the thing is, I've heard these stories so many times. Well, I don't know. They've just been around a long time.
Guys, I'm just gonna leave this check here. There's absolutely no rush. Whenever you're ready, I'll take it, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
Thanks. Uh-huh.
Pew.
Crazy stories, huh?
Yeah, but really interesting, too.
Well, here's an idea. Do you want to go down there?
When?
Tonight, now.
Well,
Do you want to see Myst Road for yourself?
do you want to? I don't care.
Only if you do. I mean, I hope I didn't scare you. They're only campfire stories.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, one thing.
What's that?
Keep the car engine running, okay?
You've got it. Well, here we are.
Oh, there's the tree.
Yeah.
You're right. This place is kind of creepy.
Hey, lock your door,
Why?
just to be safe.
Right. So this is the famous Myst Road, huh? Appears nothing's going on tonight.
Well, like I said, they're all just stories. But you have to admit, this place lends itself to some great possibilities. And a week before Halloween, no less. But, it's all in fun, right?
What happened?
I don't know. I guess the battery went dead. I'm gonna have to call somebody for a jump.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah, it's right. Oh, man. It's in my other coat. I was gonna wear this other jacket tonight, and then I grabbed this one at the last minute. Do you have a cell phone?
No, not with me. No.
Boy, this sucks. Great way to end a date, huh?
Actually, I'm having a wonderful time. It's a nice little adventure.
Glad to feel that way. Well, the nearest payphone is just down the road at the boathouse. It's like a quarter-mile away. I guess I'm just gonna have to hoof it down there and call for help.
Well, I'll come with you.
No, it's okay. You stay here. I mean, I'll be right back.
Well, I mean, it's not a problem. I can go too.
Well, you can if you want, but you're not exactly wearing shoes designed for a quarter-mile hike.
You're right. How far away is it again?
It's just down the road. I'll be like 20 minutes tops.
Okay.
Change for the phone. Oh, and keep the doors locked.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll be waiting.
Crap out of me.
Are you scared yet?
Yes, I am, and you're crazy.
Am I?
Jamie, you're spending way too much time in here.
I must have fallen asleep.
How long have you been here?
Since the place opened this morning. I was up all night in my apartment working on this paper. It's due next week. What time is it?
6:30 p.m.
It's been a long day. Another week or so, and I'll be able to turn this project in. And then you won't see me as much.
Jamie, you know, it's always nice to see you. I just hope it's worthwhile, whatever it is you're working on. You know, you need a social life.
Well, I do have a date later.
Oh, good for you. Get your butt out of the library. Get your nose out of the books.
It's not really a date. We're just going to go out and grab a late bite. If I can get out of here by 8, that is.
Well, what are you working on?
It's a research paper for my contemporary mythology class. I'm researching apocryphal stories that have been passed around by word of mouth.
Urban legends.
Stories that have some basis in fact, but as they change, they get passed around.
Like the vanishing hitchhiker. Or the guy with the hook who stalks young couples. Or that kid in the hospital that's trying to get in the Guinness Book of World Records by collecting the most get well cards.
And don't forget the one about Microsoft going into business with Disney. You know, you can win $1 million just by spreading the word.
That's an urban legend. I just got that email last week. I forwarded it to a bunch of people.
Well, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
So what are you doing anyway? You know, they've documented a ton of these urban legends. We have the books right here. They're by some professor from Utah.
Well, my project is a little different. There's a bit of a twist here. You see, I've been assigned the awesome task of researching urban legends that have a local connection.
Really? I used to hear a bunch of those when I was a kid.
Did you grow up around here?
Yeah, on the north side. We used to hear stories about Hatchet Harry. He was this maniac that lived in the Highwood Cemetery, which was in our neighborhood.
Ever see him or know anybody who did?
No, but I heard enough stories to scare the heck out of me every time I walked by the cemetery on my way home.
Ever hear of the Green Man?
You know, my older brother has a friend who knows someone who met him once.
Well, check this out. Last night, I was on the internet looking for information about some of the local stories I've heard, and I was in this chat room talking with this guy. So, you've actually met him?
Of course I know him. That's what I said.
Wow. Tell me about him.
It was about 40-some years ago. He lived here in Beaver County. He was a nice man, a decent man. Used to work on the railroad like a lot of people around here. He had a good life, you know, married, had a son. One day he's out with his 10-year-old son catching football a couple of blocks from home. After a while he says, "Let's go home." So they start walking home. Then they start running. Well, there's a live wire laying on the ground and he doesn't notice it. The boy's running and misses the wire, but his dad trips and falls right on the thing, and the electricity goes through him. The poor kid turns around just in time to see his old man light up like a Christmas tree. The kid gets scared. I mean, really scared. He runs the rest of the way home. His mother's in the kitchen, so he tells her what happens. She calls the police and they send an ambulance for his father. Next thing you know, he's in the hospital with bandages completely covering his head. A couple of weeks later, the doctor removes the bandages. The guy has totally lost his face. The electric current was so strong it melted his features together. His hair was pretty much gone, and his skin was green. After that, things were never the same. People were afraid of him, and the police told him to wear a ski mask every time he left the house so he wouldn't scare anybody. He never hurt anyone. He wouldn't do that. He was a nice guy, and ever since that accident, people treated him like he was a monster. They even gave him nicknames. The Green Man, No-Face Charlie. One summer evening, some guy was having car trouble. It's 85 degrees out there and humid, and good old Charlie is out without his ski mask, just taking a walk. So he sees the guy, and being the kind of guy he is, without thinking, goes up and offers to help the guy with his car. Well, he surprises the guy, and the dude gets scared and jumps in his car and drives off. Well, that's what he had to deal with for the rest of his life.
So, he died?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Thanks. Look, I'm doing a paper for school.
Just set the record straight.
Yeah, I will.
Somebody has to.
Billy? Billy, are you on that computer again?
Yeah, Dad, just finishing up.
You're not telling stories about me again, are you?
Nah, just checking my email.
Well, I'm going to bed, son. See you in the morning.
Good night.
No kidding, and this guy knew all about it.
Like a walking encyclopedia.
Sounds like a guy who needs to get a life. Something you need after this whole project's finished. What's this?
Oh, that's the girl who haunts the Hemingway bookshop on the south side.
Hemingway Books? I know that place. Been in there a few times. That's where I bought my Edgar Allan Poe anthology. They have a ghost?
Well, it's not really a haunting as much as it is a strange story. And this just happened pretty recently.
Something.
No, just browsing.
Okay, well, just take your time. If you need any help, just ask.
And, who would I be asking for?
My name's Miranda.
Miranda? Interesting name.
Thanks, I chose it myself.
Oh, well, then it's an interesting nom de plume. Are you a writer?
No, not exactly.
Actress?
No, I'm afraid not. Look, if you need any help, just ask.
I'm Robert.
Hi, Robert. Nice to meet you.
Miranda, can I ask you something?
I guess so, sure.
You said you chose your name. What did you mean by that?
It's kind of a long story.
Yeah, but I bet it's an interesting one.
Not really.
Okay.
It's, kind of a nickname.
I see.
It's how a lot of my friends know me. The crowd I run with, as they say. I got it from a book.
So it's a favorite character?
You might say that.
So what kind of books do you read?
I don't read a lot these days.
Well then, what can you recommend?
Well, it depends. Do you want to laugh, cry, be entertained, be scared?
Well, today's Halloween. Let's find something scary.
Okay, then may I recommend Stephen King?
I read them all.
Clive Barker.
Too weird. I tried one of his short story collections once, couldn't get into it.
How about Anne Rice?
Well, I did see Interview with a Vampire on a date a few years ago. Not exactly my cup of tea.
How about a nice vampire romance by Amanda Ashley?
Well, maybe for Valentine's Day.
Robert, I'm running out of ideas here.
How about the Miranda book?
What?
Well, you said you picked your name from a book, right? Do you have the book?
Oh, I don't think you'd like it.
Hey, I'm willing to give it a try.
You know, I don't even think we have it here.
But maybe you do.
Look, Robert, I'll be honest with you, it's a very unusual book.
Well, now I'm really intrigued.
I'll see if I can locate it. In the meantime, have you ever read Songs of a Dead Dreamer?
No, I haven't read that one.
Check it out, it's really good. It'll keep you up at night.
All right.
And, it's only 50 cents.
Oh, cool. Okay. I gotta go. I'll talk to you again.
Take care and have a nice Halloween.
You like Halloween?
I live for it.
Thank you. Come again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Excuse me, is Miranda working today?
Miranda.
Yeah. Long, dark hair about this.
I know who Miranda is. She isn't here.
Well, can you tell me when she's scheduled to work? I just wanted to thank her for recommending this book. Oh, she said it would be a good one, and it was.
Appropriate.
Excuse me?
Look, Miranda is dead.
What?
It happened about 3 years ago. Halloween night. Some nut in a costume came in here with a gun. Armed robbery. As if you're going to get any money from a second-hand bookstore. She was coming out of the back room. The gun went off. She was hit. Poor thing.
But I just met her last week right here.
Every year, around this time, someone comes in asking for her, saying they just met her last week. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. But you never get used to something like that.
Wow.
She's become quite famous. Here's an article about the quote-unquote bookstore ghost.
Hey, it's almost 8 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. I've got to run.
You don't want to keep that hot date waiting.
Thanks for your help.
Hey, good luck on your project.
See ya.
Bye.
sorry, I didn't see you.
Jamie, where are you going in such a hurry?
I'm meeting a friend, but I'm running a little behind.
Now, how's your research project coming? Uncovering any interesting stories?
Very interesting, to say the least. Some of the things you learn can be pretty surprising.
Yes, they can. You know, I remember when I first came here to teach. I was a grad student working on my fellowship. They gave me an office on the 3rd floor of Morrison Hall. It was pretty quiet and secluded after hours. Most of the time, I was the only one there. And being one of those guys that used to get lost in his research, I liked it was out of the way. But anyway, I'd stay late, looking at old magazines, building up my files on urban legends. In fact, that's where I wrote my first book.
The Mars Motel Mysteries and Other Strange but True Tales.
That's the one, the first of 6 books on urban legends. Well, anyway, I'd be sitting there late at night, organizing my files, making phone calls to verify stories that I'd happened across. And it would happen. The lights would flicker. They'd go off, then on. Then I'd hear a whistling sound down the hall. I'd stop working and just sit there, silent. At first it was kind of creepy, especially when you realize that you're the only person in the building. And when you realize that there are 3 floors and a long, dark hallway between you and the front door.
What did you do?
Well, after a while you get used to it. Then one night I was sitting there, looking over some old files somebody'd left behind, and I came across some documents about the family that used to live at Morrison Hall way back when it was a mansion. Now it seems that one of the downstairs people, that butler, was up on the 3rd floor one night, walking down a long dark hallway, whistling as he often used to do, when he accidentally slipped and fell down the steps. He landed the wrong way, and unfortunately, that was the end of him.
Wow.
I guess he was keeping me company during those late night projects. Well, anyway, you'll have your paper on my desk by Friday?
Hopefully before.
Great. Good luck. Oh, and it's a nice evening. Enjoy it.
Thanks. I'll see ya.
Jamie. Hi. Hi. Long day?
You have no idea.
Well, I thought we'd go get a cup of coffee.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Great.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, just throw that in the back. I picked that up in a used bookstore the other day. One of the employees there recommended it.
Any good?
It's not bad. Actually, it's kind of scary. I have to thank Miranda for the recommendation. All set?